Welcome to the Miracle Mommas Show. My name is Ashley Savali. I'm the founder of Miracle Mommas, a 501c3 nonprofit organization providing help to moms nationwide. And we have the Miracle Mommas Show that brings moms and maternal health advocates on to share their stories and empower others. And on the Miracle Mommas Show, we have a lot of fantastic guests, both moms and maternal health advocates. And with me here today is a very special guest and a friend of mine, Tina. Can you introduce yourself to our viewers and listeners?
Yes, I would love to. Hi, my name is Tina Perry. I am a mother of four, and I have three live children here and one in heaven. And I am also a grandmother. I am a founder of a nonprofit organization called Just Listen, founded in 2011, and I am a pageant queen.
And the last time you were on the show, you shared about your daughter's story and how her loss changed your life forever. So, since that episode aired, what has life looked like for you? Anything different or anything change? Any updates?
Everything is just continuing, and I have continued to inspire people to keep going. As far as somebody having the loss of a child, we're still here and we still have to live. Some of us have other children, some not. And it's the simple fact of we're still here, like I said, and get up, keep taking care of ourselves, the self care, the self love. Don't blame yourself, and remember their legacy and who they were. And you could smile. Smiling feels guilty when you have lost a child for a miscarriage or a human that passes that has been on earth. It's devastating.
And can
So,
you share a little bit too about your nonprofit, which inspired you or helped inspire you from the loss of your daughter, Just Listen? I know we talked a lot about that in our first episode, but can you give a little bit of the mission and the vision that you have for Just Listen and some of the amazing things that you have done with your nonprofit?
yes. So I founded Just Listen in 2011 and Angelina passed away in 2021. So I have already did the nonprofit work for 10 years. And she is the one who inspired me to do it as well because she was coming home with drinking tickets and police. And I did not want that life for her. So it's always, I find, and many people find, easier to help someone else's child besides yours. Somebody could say the same thing you say to your child and they'll listen to them, and always not the parents, but then just get it, right? So I thought by opening Just Listen, it would have her come to what we do. And what we do is help people with mental health and substance use. So we help people reach their goals. We help people change their lives, have a life that they never thought was even possible for them. But with the support we give them, work with them, and just everything they want to work with, they end up doing the work themselves. They always talk to me like, thank you so much. And I'm like, you did it. I supported you. And Angelina would come to things back and forth, and she continued the drinking at times. And then she did get in some trouble, ended up in jail, ended up doing a prison sentence. And so she was known for that substance. And when you're known for that, sometimes you're judged for that, you're stigmatized. And so what happened was Angelina had gotten really sick and went to the emergency room. It's on her record. They weren't very nice to her at all. So she walked out of two hospitals within 48 hours, and she just thought she would get better on her own. She didn't. And she ended up passing away from a blood infection. And it was the same blood infection she had May 11th, 2021. And she passed July 28th, 2021. So since that has happened, I have had quilts made. I have had penguins and turtles made and a seal. We went to the zoo for our last visit with Mesa and her son, and we seen the seals. So that was made out of one of her jackets. I've had some quilts with seals and pillows and a bunch of stuff. But most importantly, I have gotten up and spoke at hospitals and spoke to, at this point now, over 1,000 medical professionals. And it's been great. They are receiving my message well.
I think what you're doing is amazing on so many levels. And when we talk about grief, what are some things that you think that people often misunderstand about grieving parents?
I think that one of the biggest misunderstandings is how somebody else is to approach you. There's a lot of times that I see, and not just me only, just in general, because we do have a grieving group as well. And I hear a lot of stories from others. So, for instance, people are afraid to talk to you, people will avoid you. And it's only because they don't know what to say or how to act. And it's uncomfortable on both sides. So if I personally feel that happening, I just voice it and I say, it's okay. You could talk about Angelina, and that's a very nice thing to do. But everybody's different. Some parents might not want to talk about it, and we have to respect that as well. But I let people know it's okay. Thank you for remembering her. We could cry, we could laugh, we could just shake our heads. Remember this. So it's different for everybody.
I think it's different. I think you're absolutely right. And I think everyone takes it differently, right? Whether it's a miscarriage, a stillbirth, or a toddler, or many years beyond, like your daughter, it's unimaginable what you've went through. And I really appreciate that you shared your story. And you've done a lot of work for Miracle Mamas. You've donated quite a few wedding gowns, and you've also accepted comfort hearts as well that we do. And comfort hearts they go with angel gowns, which are burial gowns for mothers who have lost, but the comfort hearts also go for mothers who have lost from miscarriages too. And we've also opened up where anyone could have a comfort heart. But can you tell us a little bit about that? Because I really appreciate that on behalf of Miracle Mamas, how much your organization is helping us.
Yes. So you are my sister queen for life with the work that you have done in pageantry. And through that, I've learned a lot about you and your mission. And my job as a sister queen is to help my other sister queens and the community and wherever I can and wherever my heart leads me, right? So, with learning about the work you do, I respect you. You do it well. You're helping many women through this, and it is just wonderful. And anytime I could find a way to support you, I will, and I do. So when I have gotten gowns donated to me through our organization, I'm so excited, and they're going to you. I think that through me doing that, it helps you make more. They're unique and beautiful. And then through both of us, look how many more lives it's changing for comfort, right?
I'm so thankful that you're doing that. I know that you've also accepted some comfort hearts on the behalf of other mothers that you've known. And what has that experience been like for you on the other end of you've already donated, but now you're receiving donations to give to other moms for support?
So it's been interesting. So, how we just talked about how other people may be like afraid of us with us having a loss, right? So
Right.
now I'm on the other end of it, like you said. So I've done it twice. And the first mom was very thankful. And it was just a natural, hey, my friend has Miracle Mamas, and this is what she does. And I asked this for you to give it to you for the baby. And she was very thankful. And that was really nice. And her mother was just in awe. It was a very special moment.
Oh,
Now, the other one, we had 3 losses with this mom. So I was going to meet with her to talk about other things, and it was trying to find that right moment, right? So there is never a right moment for that, or there's always every moment for it. It's
mhm.
just, you don't know. So I was sitting with her, and like I said, we had to talk about a few other things. So I was like, do I do this first or do I do it when we're done talking? Because you don't know how people are going to react. This could be
Oh,
something like they don't want to talk about, or I have to think about what are they doing the rest of the day because I have no idea how is this going to affect them? Are they going to be able to move on for the day? How are they going to grieve through this? So there's many things you have to think about when you do this. And so I simply sat down and told her, I said, there's, I feel like never the right time to do this, but I also feel there's always a right time to show somebody you care about them. So that's how I started it. And I then explained you and Miracle Mamas, and I presented all 3 at the same time. And she took a pause and looked, and she was so thankful. And she actually has a box that her father in law made for her. So then it went into, thank you so much. I have a box with things to remember for the babies. And she held them, and it was a precious moment. And she said, these will be going in the box. Thank you so much. And to tell you, thank you.
oh, she's very welcome. I think that it's and it's really hard. You want to provide support, but everyone grieves differently. When I lost my first, I want to talk about it, but then not everybody's like that, and everybody grieves differently. So I just want to thank you for doing that. Not only donating the wedding gowns to Miracle Mamas, so we can make these because fabric is very expensive. So when we have these beautiful wedding gowns and even confirmation gowns, christening gowns, those are all welcome too. It's nice to do that, and also I think it's even more beautiful that you actually donated these, the actual comfort hearts, giving the people that you know. So thank you for doing
You're
that too.
welcome. Any part of anything I could do to help you, I absolutely will.
And it's interesting because you do a lot of speaking for Just Listen in a different capacity than Miracle Mamas, but in terms of grieving parents, especially when it comes to miscarriage or stillbirth, what do you wish if you do, like hospitals or providers or the healthcare communities that could do better to support grieving families?
I will tell you, I have had a miscarriage. And when I did, they put me on the floor that all the newborn babies were being born. So all I heard was babies crying. With my broken heart and sadness, I was still happy for the other moms. So I would personally say, please don't put us moms on those floors. There has to be a different area in the hospital
Yeah.
that they can put us because that is not comforting.
No, it's not. I'm sorry that
And
happened to you.
I will never forget that. And I thought the whole time, why would they put me here? It's it wasn't nice. And I just think that I mine was 35 years ago.
Oh,
And I think that things have probably really changed since then, I hope. But I would think my things would be to have somebody come in and talk to the mom and ask them, how are they doing? Obviously, there's a huge heaviness that they just went through. Is there anything they could help them with? And do they need any resources? And it would be nice to give a care package. And who do you want by your side? Do you want phone calls? Do you want this time alone? It would be, now you're asking me, so it would be nice to have a warm washcloth for your face, maybe a little journal to write if you choose to write. It would just be comfort things,
I
whatever the
love that.
hospital has.
I think that would have been really nice. When I lost mine, I had a DNC. They luckily didn't put me in a maternity ward. I was in a surgical unit. But when my youngest daughter, Alice, when she was born, she was transferred to another hospital. So now I'm in labor and delivery with all these other moms, and we're hearing the lullaby music, and I'm hearing the crying. And I have this beautiful suite. It was huge, beautiful, but there's no baby. And
Right.
there was no one there to say, there was no one there to kind of help you through that, because your body's still saying that you're pregnant, but then the reality comes in that you're not, and your baby's completely somewhere else. And in your case, it's very sad to lose a baby. So I think those are really great ideas. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Thank you. And I think that looking back, what would you tell a version of yourself who was just beginning the journey of grief?
What would I tell myself for that? I would tell myself that there's still hope and not to give up for the miscarriage.
Yeah.
And that's what I did. And I would tell another mom that as well. Just like I told the mom that had the loss of the three babies. That's part of our conversation as well. I'm like, I don't know what's going to happen. I hope you don't give up because miracles happen, right? And for Angelina, it's different.
Mhm.
It's a different loss. I don't know. That was a new thing. It's supposed to be the parents and then the children. And my child went first. And I just think that you're numb. Like, how did that just happen? My daughter is in heaven because of somebody else's mistake. And that's horrible. Somebody that was trained to care for people. And that's what they did not do. They judged her. And so with me, I'm always like, what could I have done different? There's nothing I could have done different. I can't control anybody. And I feel like if there's a family member in the hospital, like somebody better be there because you never know what kind of mood they're going to be in. And if they're going to follow their training or their heart, the reason why they got that job. Did you get the job for the paycheck or because you truly care in your heart that you want to help these people? What is it? And so, yeah, it's a lot of what could I do different? And the answer is nothing. And I have so many unexplained answers, and I'll never have them. I remember the phone call for them just to tell me she wasn't breathing good and they're going to put her on a ventilator. And am I okay with that? And I said, I'm going to be okay with whatever is going to help her. And they didn't wait until I got there and they just did it. And that was it. I never got to talk to her again. But she was surely talking that morning because the night before she wanted a vanilla strawberry chocolate ice cream from across the street. And I went to go get it, and they had chocolate, vanilla, and blue moon. They didn't have strawberry. And so I said, kiddo, you're coming back with a blue moon instead of the strawberry. So I was excited to bring it back to her because she just wanted the ice cream and she was sleeping. So I didn't want to wake her up because she was not feeling good at all. So I put it on her tray table and I left. I told the nurse, if she doesn't wake up and it melts, can you take care of it? But anyways, that like I said, I didn't wake her up and I just left. So the next morning is when they were like, she's not breathing good. She can't talk. But then they told me, "Sh- Angelina was so happy you brought her that ice cream."
She knew. She did get to find out that you brought her it. Okay.
But if they knew to tell me they had conversation that morning, I thought she was delirious and couldn't really talk and needed that ventilator and on. And I'm like,
Oh
wait
my
a
God.
second. How are you relaying a message from her telling me you've had a full conversation with her? Now, I didn't get this message, I don't think, until I got to the hospital and she was
Mhm.
already on the ventilator. So that didn't sit right with me, and it never will, because you just told me this was an emergency, and was it? So, and that's why I really want to get into as many hospitals as I can. I worked for 8 years on cardiac, heart, and lung transplants. So I know what's behind the scenes in the hospital. There's good and not so good. We need those doctors and nurses and all the medical professionals, but we need them to be in the right mindset. They have our lives in their hands, their decisions, their self-care, their self-love. They're just human too. So what's happening in their lives? How are their emotions? And are they going to take it out on the patients? So it's difficult, but the thing I love is that when I go in to talk to these medical professionals, they have been kind. I'm just basically, what I am doing is sharing my story on what happened to Angelina because she was mistreated by medical professionals. And I'm pretty much reminding them they got this job because they care, because they want to help and they want to save lives. They failed this time. So, my thing is, if you're a medical professional and you have somebody's life in your hands and you are feeling overwhelmed, you are feeling angry, you are feeling aggravated because this patient is getting on your nerves, it happens. Then maybe take a pause and get a replacement and take a break or find a new job. And maybe this one just wasn't for you. So if you can't treat the patients the way they deserve because every life is worth it, then you shouldn't be in that profession. And the thing too is they weren't listening to my daughter. What is wrong with you? How are you feeling? And they made their own assumptions. They judged her. Her death certificate explains how she passed away, and it's from a blood infection, not drugs. So, shame on the medical professionals that treated her that way, because now my grandson has no mom. I have no daughter. My sons have no sister, and it affects us every day. So, that loss, it affects every day. My miscarriage, I don't think about every day, but I think about it at certain times. When another mom has a miscarriage, I think about mine, and I could have that conversation because I've been through it and talk to that person on this is how I got through it. So they're different losses, but yet the same. I've lost in both ways.
Thank you for sharing your story. It's incredibly hard, and I think that a lot of people can resonate with both. I think it's incredibly brave that you are sharing your story. And what message do you hope out of all of this that listeners could take?
No matter if you have a miscarriage or a child on earth that has passed, there is support out there. Anybody could definitely call me. I'm sure they could call you. And if I am not the resource for them to talk to, I'm happy to find one and just don't give up. Keep living and keep searching and don't give up.
Thanks, Tina. And I'll put your organization information in the description below this episode, as well as your contact information for Just Listen. And thank you again for coming on the show and giving us an update, and also for all the work that you do for Miracle Mamas, the gowns, providing these comfort hearts out to other mothers. From the bottom of my heart, thank you so much.
You're so welcome. Thank you for having me.